Alrighty, howdy folks. My name is Eric, and today I want to show you the plan for Q2 of 2025. If you caught the last stream or its subsequent upload to YouTube, I was reflecting on Q1 of 2025, and so this time we are planning the next quarter. This is going to center around this discourse post that I have been composing. This is discourse.eom.dev. And here I'm outlining a few of the things that I want to do over the next few months. So ending Q1 on March 20th, that was a couple days ago, on the equinox, in case you're interested in that. And we'll go through, Q2 will go through June 21st, which is, what is that, the solstice. So using the solar calendar to mark these quarters. Anyway, what I'm doing here is basically using Git milestones as the framework for making this plan, and this is going to be the kind of content that I will be working on over the next few months. So if you have any feedback on it, feel free to leave some comments, as always. Either here on YouTube, or here actually is Owncast, so here would also be Discourse, or on YouTube, because YouTube is the downstream publisher, and my stuff is the source. Anyway, so yeah, Git. We have milestones in Git. It's a way of collecting issues together under like I would use the word project if project wasn't something else in Git. I think I've spoken about this before, but it's not wildly clear to me when you should use one over the other. So doing it this way is a bit of an experiment, and we'll see how it goes. Just so you can see, here's an example of a project. It gives you this kind of Kanban board where you can click and drag tickets. Being one person working on this by myself, I find this a little bit cumbersome to manage. So I have decided to work with milestones, which are less visual, but a little bit easier for one person to manage and work on. So I've created these 4 milestones in Git, and I've created a few more over on Discourse, specifically for things that aren't necessarily like software engineering projects that wouldn't have a Git repository. So all of the milestones that I am hoping to accomplish in this time frame are listed on Discourse, and the relevant ones are linked to Git, or rather the ones that have Git milestones are linked through Discourse. Anyway, let's talk about what we are actually going to do. The first thing I have on here is to deploy a blog. So I want to test out a few different types of blogging applications. I already have a WordPress site that I'm not actually using. We can take a look at that real quick. So all these are hosted on my Kubernetes cluster, in case this is the first time you've seen a video of mine. The previous ones will explain where these services are coming from and whatnot. But anyway, so yeah, this is a WordPress site that has nothing on it. I just deployed it to see that it was working, and it is. What I will talk about later is specifically this video summary bot. I mentioned it at the end of the previous video. And so my thinking here is that I've been posting my live streams to a Discourse thread, creating a new thread for each one, and I'm just not sure that that's the best way to do things. So this is basically, I'm going to try out a few different blogging applications and see if there's something I like better than Discourse. I may not actually end up using one, but we're going to experiment with a few. So we'll look at a few different types of open source blogging applications and I guess review them. Excuse me. More importantly is enabling remote network access. Specifically what I'm referring to here is deploying a VPN and configuring one of my computers, a laptop. It's kind of an interesting laptop, so I'm going to show it to you. Basically, I have a Ubiquiti EdgeRouter 6P, and it comes with OpenVPN installed onto it, so I can just configure that, and then I should be able to configure my laptop here this thing, a Dell Latitude 7230 Rugged Extreme tablet. Very interesting platform that I'll be showing you more in the future. But we will configure that laptop to use this VPN so that it will automatically, wherever I am, connect to my network and give me a seamless experience there. Okay. So this video is a bit weird, as they usually are. What I'm trying to get at here, it's a bit weird just kind of jumping straight into these. There's a theme that's going to be developing as we go. These will make more sense together once you see all of them. I have ordered them so that they kind of make sense as best as possible. One thing I should mention here is that these, this video is going to be pretty terrible, I think. Anyway, so these are organizations. I've mentioned this before, but a lot of the open source platforms for software engineering or kind of anything, here's like Nextcloud, it does this as well. They organize things based on organizations. And so like I have a DevOps organization, and if we look here, there's a finance one and a broadcast organization. It's a bit superfluous for one person to be organizing all of their things in all of these different organizations. It actually makes things a little bit more confusing given that scale. But since they are baked into the software that I'm using, and I am hoping to design this for, future projects, I just went ahead and used them, and we'll just continue doing that for now to see how well it works. If it becomes way too much overhead, then I might roll back that idea. So each organization has specific milestones, and these all kind of link together. We'll see how as I go. Anyway, so we're going to try some different blogging applications. We're going to set up a VPN so that I can access this network from wherever I am. And then we are going to deploy a public video game server. So some pretty disparate things here. If you've never heard of Luanti, then you've probably heard of Minecraft. Luanti was once known as Minetest, formerly Minetest, you can see there. It is a voxel-based video game. This one is, if you start playing it, it pretty much looks exactly like Minecraft. And it's just a little bit different in that it's fully open source, and it's designed to be modded, and it's written in C. If you're actually, a lot of my audience is interested in that. I think it's C++, but anyway. So point being, I'm going to deploy a Luanti server. I'm going to make it available, and I'm going to try and live stream some of that game and see if I can get some people in the audience here to join me on that. We'll see. Continuing right along, broadcast. This is kind of a big one for this quarter, I guess, because there are a lot of things I want to improve here. First and foremost is the previous video that I uploaded where we were doing the Q1 reflection. I asked for some feedback on what I have been posting. I got one comment on YouTube. Let's find the person's name so that I can thank them for it. Whoops. Okay, Mr. Nobody is here. Thank you, Mr. Nobody is here, for giving me some feedback. I really appreciate it. I recently found your channel, and I'm loving the content you posted about C. I would say start doing it again. Thanks. As you might be seeing from the plan that I am laying out here, I'm not necessarily planning to take your advice, though I do appreciate receiving it. What I'm hearing from this more, I have one comment to go off of here, and one comment and my own intuition. So yes, C content, but basically these videos aren't tutorials. They are not concise. They are not well formatted. They are not, designed for YouTube. So what I'm hearing here is that if I want to see success on YouTube, I should probably tailor this content for the platform a bit more. I am neither for nor against doing that, I'll say. I am not eager to spend a lot of time trying to make everything perfect for YouTube, but I'm also not opposed to putting in a little bit of effort to make things better on YouTube. For one thing, some basic video editing might be useful. I pause a lot. I've been saying in this video. There might be times where it would be nice to have some video editing done. So, I guess I'll do a little bit of that, especially at the beginning of the video. I've noticed in a few of the previous ones, just because of the way I'm using OBS and live streaming and recording at the same time, the beginning will start in the middle of a sentence when it's uploaded to YouTube. So, just some small things like that can be edited or improved. I can also improve the quality of the Owncast stream itself. So typically I have a pause screen that just has some plain text on it. Some small things like that that I can make better. I'll be doing that kind of in the background. We'll check in on this as I go. You'll probably just start seeing things happening. Another thing with YouTube is organizing content on YouTube. So I think all of my C videos are in a playlist together, and I think I'll have to go back and double check this. I think all of my previous content, excluding the stuff I have done this year, 2025, is pretty well organized into playlists. So maybe it would be worth putting these new videos into different playlists to help organize it. Also, I'm thinking that deploying this public Luanti server, inviting guests to join, live streaming the playthroughs of that game. It might be worth creating a separate YouTube channel specifically for gaming videos. While I feel like I have somewhat gotten away with switching to this technology as opposed to that technology, from C videos to Kubernetes stuff, I'm not so sure that I would also want to add video games onto this. I don't really even play that many video games, so I don't know. We'll see. Anyway, this one is quite interesting to me, at least. What we're going to do with this one, this is an actual coding project as opposed to all the others, which kind of, this one is and this one is, but, I guess they kind of all are. Anyway, the video summary bot. I mentioned this in the last two videos. We deployed local AI, and what I can do here is take these live streams. I can create a automation that will download the latest one from MinIO, strip out the audio, transcribe the audio using OpenAI's Whisper, and then use another language model to generate a description for the video that's kind of a little bit better than the bullet points that I've been copying and pasting into the description of each video so far. So that's going to be an interesting project. For that, I have created this empty organization. Well, it's not empty anymore. I just created this today. The broadcast organization, they kind of exist. Their home, where they are defined, is OpenLDAP. So PHP LDAP admin gives us just a way of viewing OpenLDAP databases. Gotta make sure you can see. And we can see right here I have defined the broadcast organization. And then these services like GitT and Nextcloud, they are going to use the OpenLDAP database to know what that is, know who's a member of it, etc. That's not necessarily why we're here. I don't know if you can even read that. So, where was I looking? Broadcast. Oh, yes, of course. The broadcast organization. So, it exists. The broadcast organization I created here in OpenLDAP quite a while ago, and I just didn't, tell GitT to use it for anything until just now. So today I created this. I linked it in GitT so that we can now see a broadcast org in GitT, and I have created this empty repository for a video summary bot. This is something that we are going to start here on this channel together. We're going to work on this for a while, and what I need to do is create some issues that will kind of provide an outline of what needs to be done on this project, and they'll all be part of this milestone that I've created, version 1.0, just kind of creating a proof of concept for this automation and video summary bot. So that's kind of probably the main coding project that we'll be working on over the next quarter. Okie dokie. So, last is this research and development organization, which is kind of just for, citizen science projects, I suppose. What I want to do are two things. I want to build a Dobson telescope, and I want to use it to observe some anomalous white dwarf stars. Here's a paper on strange quark matter in certain white dwarf stars. They are identified down here. You can read the paper to see what's anomalous about them and what strange quark matter is. Point being, I would like to build a telescope and just look at these stars. I don't necessarily think that the Dobson telescope that I produce here will necessarily be able to, prove the existence of strange quark matter, but it's an interesting project, so we're going to do it, and it will be fun. Cool. And the other part of this is searching for orchids at Alligator River. The Alligator River is in North Carolina, near the Outer Banks. Here's North Carolina. Here are the Outer Banks. And this is the Alligator River. And this whole area is a quite beautiful wildlife refuge. And they have a database of their plant species. Here are their flowering plants. And if we look for orchids, well, this database doesn't seem to have any. There are multiple databases. Let's see if I can find the other one. I can. Well, I'm not going to search for it right now. Point being, I probably just need to, maybe if I look for it by its taxonomical name instead of something common. Let's see. There's probably way too many here. Oh no, there's two. Anyway, we don't want to search. Anyway, I need to make these things bigger. You guys really can't see anything. Point being, we can go to Alligator River, assuming that we have done these things here. Let's take a step back and look at this. If we enable remote network access using a VPN and this rugged tablet, I suppose we don't actually need a video game server to do any of this, but then we should be able to broadcast a live stream from Alligator River, from out here. I actually was out here recently and tested my network connection, and it can connect. So I should be able to host a live stream from out here. So I thought it would be kind of cool to use the database provided by the Wildlife Refuge, identify a few species. In my personal interest would be orchids, and try to find them in the wild at the Wildlife Refuge. So those are a few of the things that I am hoping to do over the next few months on this channel. As you can probably see, it is quite a deviation from making tutorials about certain programming languages. That being said, I do intend to largely follow the same format here. So I have make this, well, I suppose that doesn't really help. This is a Nextcloud calendar. It is published on owncast.eom.dev. You can see the public version of this there. And here I have listed our live streams. You can see that I have been doing them Saturdays at 4. Today is a Saturday and it is close to 4, actually 21 minutes after 4. That's this event here. And we can see that I have scheduled, I think that's the right, I changed this recently. March 29th, is that a Saturday? Yeah, that's a Saturday. So Saturdays at 11. I think I said Sundays in the previous episode, but I changed my mind. I'm going to do Saturdays. So continuing to do one demo of some kind of technology thing or project a week, where we'll be learning about something, I suppose. I will, in the near future, add a regular schedule for a night to do streaming on the Luanti server. We'll give that a try, see if the people bite on that one. So that will also appear on this same calendar. Where was I going with that? This is the first time I've done a video like this where we're just like planning out projects. So this one's kind of awkward in my opinion, but that's okay. All of this is kind of experimental. I don't really know what I'm doing here, so we're just gonna keep trying and see what works and see what does not, and that's all there is to it. So I feel like this wasn't very clear. There is a plan here. It's a bit of a deviation from what the channel has been. That being said, I'm going to put some effort into making the results of what I'm doing more palatable for YouTube, and yeah, this is the YouTube channel is not going to like suddenly become a travel channel or something like that. It's still going to be focused on like making things and technology and stuff like that. It's just, you know, what I'm making will be a telescope or something like that. I might add robotics into the telescope so that it can use GPS tracking to find stars for me. Because, you know, I don't know about you, but I don't quite remember where LSPM J0815 is personally. Now, LP240-30, like that one I remember, of course, but anyway, not really. Yeah, so the projects that I am working on are changing. Here's what they are, but the kind of things I will be uploading to this YouTube channel or that YouTube channel, depending on which one you want to imagine we're on right now, that content will be largely the same, so not too much to fear there. Anyway, if you have any feedback for me on any of this, feel free to leave it in a comment either here on Discourse or on YouTube. This is subject to change, and yeah, I suppose that's all there is to say about it. So, all right, that was our first planning live stream. Bit rough around the edges. I think all of these live streams have been a bit rough around the edges, but we'll see how things go. So yeah, thank you for joining me, and I will see you next time. Toodaloo.